this is the worst team for years, and it's on his watch. It's like he's saying, I'm no good. What he's doing is, after that, he's saying, well, hang on a minute, the board and the owners know that I want to play a certain way, and it's going to take time for that to come good, and he feels like he's not under pressure because the board have accepted what he said to them on appointment.
I think his inner confidence, I think his self-worth is absolutely ginormous. That comes across so strongly to me when I hear him speak. He will not budge. He feels he knows what's right, and he will get there if he's given the opportunity and the funds and possibly Champions League football to attract the players that he wants. But right now, and I'm sure he is, I'm sure he's parked that thought, and he's been very strong with it, but he's got to find a way to win this match with the team and the system that he's got.
He has. As for Ange Postecoglou, he's come out with this statement long ago that he always wins things in his second season, and here he is with a chance to prove himself right. But the belief is that he will be going even if they win this trophy tonight. I personally don't see that. I mean, is that going to happen?
I think it might well do, depending whether they win or lose. But ultimately, he's another manager that has stuck by his principles, spoken about changing the mentality of Tottenham as a football club and winning trophies, and that being his remit. He spoke openly about that yesterday in the press conference, and he's got that opportunity almost to turn around and say, well, I did exactly what you wanted, take me or leave me, and then they'll have a decision to make. But I've seen a slight bend in the way his team has played in the last 2 months, especially in this competition, and I think it might just help them tonight.
I think you could argue that if Spurs were to win and to get into the Champions League, then some in the Spurs hierarchy might think it's even more urgent that they get rid of him, because they would look at the fact that they've lost 25 games over the course of the season and say that's not good enough. If we're going to be in a Champions League campaign, the games are coming thick and fast again next season, where we might have another 55, 58 games over the course of the campaign, then Ange isn't our man. So I think he's out whatever happens.
And is that best all-round, Dean? Because Spurs move on and get somebody else to deal with trying to challenge again and being in the Champions League again, and Ange Postecoglou goes off elsewhere and says, well, look what I did at Spurs.
No, you stick with a man that stuck his neck out on the line to say, I can win things in my second season, and I always do, and I've gone and delivered it for you. You don't want somebody that's that confident in themselves and then can back it up and take his team to victory by any means, and I think that's the type of man that I would want at my football club.
Champions with South Melbourne, champions with Brisbane Roar, champions with Yokohama, domestic treble with Celtic, all in its second season. Nothing with Melbourne victory, so we'll find out what happens with Spurs.
Well, we will see. And in terms of players as well, they're all waiting to come out, lined up in the tunnel. Just very quickly, a lot of the talk is about those creative players for Spurs being out injured tonight. One player who's been out injured and has come back from Manchester United is Mason Mount, who's been brilliant last couple of weeks. Can't really argue.
No, the talent's always been there. He's an incredible worker in terms of what he gives you out of possession, and I think that's a real bonus for Manchester United right now. And he's got the quality, and I bet he's so hungry. He's been famished for so long at Manchester United of an opportunity, and this is his.
Well, the mosaic among the Spurs fans away to our right in the bottom tier is there. There is to do as the players walk out past the Europa League trophy, which is on the plinth right in front of them on the touchline. TalkSport taking you across Europe, taking you around the world with our award-winning live football coverage, with our stellar cast of pundits and commentators whose passion for the game of football is as strong as yours. Live football is what we do, and we do it best on TalkSport. This beautiful stadium is the home of Athletic Bilbao, a club that values its traditions, its history, its soul and its people much more than success and titles. And so it's ironic that tonight this place hosts two teams that are all about winning a trophy. It's the Europa League final, live from Bilbao on TalkSport. Here's your commentary team of former England striker Dean Ashton alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you from the magnificent magnificent San Mamés, colonised by the English for the night to witness the 6th All-English European final. Spurs and Manchester United have been meeting since back in 1899, but from Bank Street to Bilbao, no single instalment has ever had as much riding on it as this. Two clubs united in their desperate need to salvage a woeful campaign, separated by just a place and a point in a league table that makes hideous viewing, each heading for their worst finish since they went down in the 70s, yet 90 minutes away from a European trophy and more. Tonight the silverware isn't the only prize on offer in what's become European football's equivalent of the Championship playoff final, but with a meaningful trophy at the end of it. The passport out of the European wilderness and back to the top table of continental competition could have far-reaching effects, shaping transfer strategy with the inevitable ramifications of the standard of play you attract to the club, which in turn has a knock-on effect on the next league campaign and beyond. So this isn't just a high-profile 90 minutes. How can it be? This is two clubs at a crossroads in their medium-term future, with a side dish of potential individual collateral damage. Spurs line up with Vicario in goal. Porro, Romero, Van de Ven and Udogie are back four that have won 7 of their 13 games together this season. Bissouma, Bentancur and Sarr in midfield. Johnson, Solanke and Richarlison up front. Manchester United, their red shirts and black shorts, Onana in goal, Yoro, Maguire and Shaw, Mazraoui, Casemiro, Fernandes and Dorgu, Ahmad and Mount, and Højlund. And on the benches for United, Lindelof, Xerxes, Eriksen, Garnacho, Dalot, Ugarte, Heaven, Evans, Mainu, Amas, Collier and Altay. And for Tottenham, Danso, Son, Tell, Gray, Spence, Odegaard, Davis and Scarlett, Moore and Ajayi, Austin and Whiteman. Well, the Spurs players in a huddle, most of them oblivious to the fact that after the captains got together and coin was tossed, the two sides are switching round. So Spurs are going to be attacking the end of the ground that houses the Spurs fans within this first 45 minutes. The United players now go into a huddle of their own in front of us, and as they do, the Spurs players who initially were going to break and go back into their half are now coming back into the half that United are defending to draw applause from their supporters away to our right hand side. It's a fascinating encounter, Dean Ashton. Imagine having some skin in the game.
Unbelievable pressure is what it is for both sides. But forget qualifying for the Champions League. Forget about your manager's future. Forget about the terrible Premier League campaign. Tonight is about grasping an opportunity that you dreamt of as a kid. The chance to add to the club's history and let your lips plant a massive kiss on the cold silver trophy. Just go and take it.
For one, anaesthetising victory to soothe the pain. For the other, the ultimate ignominy to set the seal on their annus horribilis. One team, despite themselves, despite their season, are going to win the Europa League. Spurs and Manchester United in northern Spain. But who will be able to bask in the glory? We're underway. Spurs kicking from left to right. White shirts with a dark blue trim. Long ball launched forward, picked up by Ahmad. Bruno Fernandes works it back to him, and there's a confident back heel flick from him. It's then laid back to Harry Maguire, to Luke Shaw on the edge of his own penalty area.
Get underway. It's going to be Tottenham to kick us off in the 2025 UEFA Europa League final. And we are underway here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United, the second All-English Europa League final. The previous one taking place 6 years ago, as Chelsea got the better of Arsenal by 4-1 in Baku, Azerbaijan. United with the early possession. Luke Shaw towards the edge of his penalty area, out towards Yor on the left-hand side. Plays it forward towards the centre. What else are going to get there, but intercepted in the middle of the park by Rodrigo Bentancur. But foul in there by the Tottenham number 30 on Højlund means that Manchester United will have an opportunity from an early free kick to try and get themselves up the field. And in matter of fact, actually, it's gone the other way because Rasmus Højlund found himself in an offside position as he tried to pull it back. So free kick here to Tottenham to be taken by Christian Romero, who has the responsibility of the captain's armband tonight here for Spurs, out towards the left-hand side and in towards the path of Udogie, into the possession of Mickey van der Ven, who's being put under early pressure by Rasmus Højlund. It goes back to the keeper, Vicario. Romero in towards the path of Pedro Porro, who scored a stunning strike in the second leg of their semi-final against Bodo Glimt. Looked to chip the ball upfield on the right-hand side. Came off of Patrick Dorgu and had a play for Tottenham throw-in, right-hand side, right by the edge of their own penalty area. In terms of their route to the semi-finals, once they got past the odd tricky ties, been quite plain sailing, particularly the semi-finals where there were comprehensive successes for both sides. Tottenham got the better of Bodo Glimt 5-1 on aggregate, won the first leg 3-1 at home before a 2-0 win in Norway. In the second leg, Manchester United beat Athletic Club 7-1 on aggregate in their semi-final. Spurs look to move the ball upfield, but Luke Shaw will watch off the advancing run of Brennan Johnson. Got the ball out of play, but the decision has gone.
And already we can see Bruno Fernandes.
Corner to them on the right-hand side. Shaw clearing it, saying it came off of Brennan Johnson, but having a look at the replay for behind the goal, there wasn't such a touch from the Tottenham number 22. So Spurs have a set piece on this right-hand side. 2 minutes gone. Spurs 0, Manchester United 0. Corner to be taken on this near side as we look at the right-hand side of the Tottenham attack. And it's going to be Pedro Porro to take this set piece. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery. A chance for Tottenham to make an instant impact in this final. Porro's delivery towards the back post, but Maguire was shoved to the floor as the ball came into the penalty area. So Manchester United will get a free kick. 2.5 minutes into this Europa League final. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0 here in Bilbao. And it was Mickey van der Ven, the player that hauled Maguire to the floor. Well, Ange Postecoglou is under big pressure, and even in his pre-match press conference yesterday, he had to face some stiff questions from journalists, batting away one from a written journalist saying that he isn't a clown, despite suggestions in a written publication that he could either be that or a hero, depending on the result tonight. In the middle of the Spurs half, Rasmus Højlund has found himself down on the floor. Manchester United have a free kick in a decent enough position, around about 35 yards out from the Tottenham goal. It was Christian Romero that brought Højlund down, jumping in the air and using Højlund as a springboard for it. So United have a free kick just centred towards the left-hand side, round about 30 yards out from goal. It's going to be Luke Shaw to take it. He's going to swing it into the penalty area on his left foot. 3.5 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. Shaw's delivery towards the back post. Flicked on by Maguire. Back in towards the mixer. Not fully away by Udogie. The ball goes out of play for corner. It was a missed kick from the Spurs left back, and it left Vicario in a precarious position. He tried to recover it, but he could only knock the ball out of play. And so United will have a corner on the right-hand side as they attack. Maguire dinking the ball down, and Udogie with an air kick, and Vicario tried to keep it in play, was unable to do so. And so corner for Manchester United to be taken by their captain Bruno Fernandes. He has number 8 on his shirt. A goal tonight would mean number 8 in this competition this season, and he would win the Golden Boot potentially. Joint top goal scorer in the competition this season. Corner from the right side, swung in right-footed towards the 6-yard box, cleared away by Tottenham, comes back out towards Shaw, who will play it back to the halfway and towards the possession of Mazraoui. Pings it out to the right-hand side, glanced on by Fernandes, who's been put under pressure by Richarlison. Højlund gets there, Vicaria's off his line, back into the path of Fernandes, inside the area, free and white up against it. Fernandes still has a strike on goal on his left foot. It comes off the chest of Romero and then cleared away eventually by Brennan Johnson for Tottenham. One back by Shaw on the halfway. Mason Mount on the left-hand side in the middle of opposition territory. Casemiro to Shaw. Shaw back into the path of Lenny Yoru on the halfway here for Manchester United. Along the line towards Mazraoui. Casemiro inside the centre circle. Maguire has got Shaw on the halfway. Finds him on the left side. 5 minutes gone here in Bilbao. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. And there's a lot of questions as to what kind of pace, what we would see from this particular final, whether it be a little bit staccato, a little bit rigid because of what's at stake. Well, it's been a fairly open-ended start for both sides, playing on the front foot, And both teams with an early glimmer of opportunity. Spurs with a couple of decent forward moves. United with a shot from Bruno Fernandes have had a look at a goal already. As Johnson's looking to feed through Solanke on the half, and able to do so. It's one back by United. Ahmad back into the path for Casemiro on the halfway, being put under pressure by Ibasuma, who pushes Casemiro to the floor, and Manchester United will get a free kick as a consequence on the halfway. Ruben Amorim in a blazer and white t-shirt this evening, looking to become only the third manager to win a major trophy in his first season in charge of Manchester United, after Jose Mourinho, where he won the League Cup and this competition, and Erik ten Hag, who won the League Cup a couple of years ago. And he's looking to become only the third manager to win a major European title with an English club aged 40 or younger, after Howard Kendall, who won the Cup Winners' Cup with Everton in 1985, and Gianluca Vialli in the 1998 Cup Winners' Cup. But it's Tottenham moving forwards here. Richarlison goes down, but Mazraoui perfectly times his challenge and moves United upfield towards the halfway on this right-hand side. I was looking to put it back into the path of Ahmad, who couldn't quite read the pass, but it's going to be a throw into Manchester United nonetheless on this right-hand side. Spurs are pinning for a free kick for a high boot on Richarlison by Casemiro a couple of moments ago. That was batted away by the referee Felix Vaya. Here's Højlund on the half, breaking on this left-hand side. Will get the better of Bissouma. 25 yards out from goal is the Manchester United number 9. Bissouma sticks his right leg out and knocks it out of play. Manchester United throw on the left, best part of 25 yards out for the Tottenham Hotspur goal. 7 minutes gone, Spurs 0, Manchester United 0 in the 2025 UEFA Europa League final here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Manchester United competing in their 9th major European final. Only Liverpool with 15 have reached more among English clubs, and the Red Devils have failed to win 3 of their last 4 such finals, losing to Barcelona in the Champions League finals of 2009 and 2011, and in the final of this competition on penalties. You may remember that penalty shootout against Villarreal in 2021, finished 11-10 to Villarreal on spot kicks. The only player to miss their penalty was the Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea. It's Andre Onana between the sticks tonight, and he has possession for United. Plays it out towards Lenny Yoro, towards the edge of his own penalty area. Onana lays it out towards the left-hand side, and Shaw, heavy first touch, put under pressure by Brennan Johnson. That pressure told, tried to clear it upfield, rebounded off of Johnson back into the path for Shaw, and it's going to be a Tottenham Hotspur throw on the right-hand side, right by the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. It's going to be taken by Pedro Porro, who was looking for the option short, but Patrick Dorgu cut that supply line off. Back in towards the path of Bentancur. Here's Bissouma, back in towards the possession of Romero, right-hand side, 10 yards inside United territory. Porro swings the ball in right-footed towards the back post, looking to find Richarlison, flicked away by Mazraoui. It's going to be another Tottenham Hotspur corner, this time on the left-hand side. It was a beautiful pinpoint cross in towards the penalty area by Pedro Porro, swung it in right-footed from the right-hand side, 25 yards out towards the back stick, but Mazraoui knew exactly where Richarlison was, glances it away, and so Tottenham with another corner, their second of the game, this time from the left-hand side. 9 minutes gone, Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. Once again, it's going to be taken by Pedro Porro. It's going to be another right-footed in-swinging delivery. You're listening to the UEFA Europa League final here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Goalless after 9.5 minutes. Porro with the corner. Left side, right-footed swinging delivery towards the near post. Punched away by Onana. Comes back out towards Johnson, edge of the box. Here's Bissouma. Out towards Porro again. Højlund making chase for United. Porro's cross goes in. Low drilled. It was a tame one. Headed away by Mason Mount in the end. It comes back to Udogie on the halfway here for Spurs, being put under pressure by Ahmad, goes down to the ground under the challenge of the Manchester United number 16, and Tottenham will get themselves a free kick just inside Manchester United territory on the right hand side as they move forward. It was a shove in the back of Udogie on the right elbow by Ahmad, which conceded the free kick. A big bold punch though from the corner before from Andre Onana to stop Tottenham in their tracks. Both teams have made a positive start, and I suppose you expected a bright start for both teams. Two teams that play on the front foot just because they know exactly what's on the line this evening, exactly what is at stake. Their season is defined by what happens here this evening. 16th and 17th respectively in the Premier League this season. Ball given away cheaply here. Brennan Johnson, right hand side inside the area, looks to hook it back. It's parried away by Onana, comes back in second time. It's cleared away by Manchester United. Eventually the second effort came in by Pape Sarr. And then Richarlison goes down towards the edge of the penalty on the left hand side under the challenge of Mazraoui. Tottenham have a free kick towards the edge of the penalty area. And it's Ange Postecoglou's side to very much on top over the last few minutes or so. Mazraoui jumping over Richarlison towards the edge of the box, conceding the free kick. But prior to that, Maguire clumsily giving the ball away. Brennan Johnson driving towards the byline inside the box, hooks it back, parried away by Onana. Second effort of Pape Sarr was blocked by United. But they have to see out another set piece here. A free kick to Tottenham right on the edge of the penalty area. On the left-hand side as they attack. 11.5 gone. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. Here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's going to be Pedro Porro again on that wanderer right foot to deliver the ball in towards the penalty area from this left-hand side. United will advance towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Porro to strike it. Right-footed. In towards the area, it's cleared away. We ban off a chance. Who gets it second time? Has an effort. It's bundled around, pinballed around the box, and out of play will go for another Tottenham corner on the left-hand side. Manchester United at times in 6s and 7s defensively, and Tottenham are just coming forward at will here. There's another opportunity from a set piece. The ball fell loose to Richarlison towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Tried to set himself up on his more favourable left foot for a shooting angle. It comes off of Bruno Fernandes at the end. It's another Tottenham corner, and there's some pushing and shoving inside the 6-yard box, which Felix Raya is going to try and cut out immediately. Pape Sarr's the man he's having a conversation with. Tottenham's third corner of the game. Manchester United with a solitary one in the opening 13 minutes of this Europa League final. Porro again to take on his right foot, left hand side to the near posts, where goes inside the penalty area. And apologies for the slight interruption there. We just had a couple of technical hitches. The corner didn't amount to anything as we have a look at pictures here of Son Heung-min on the substitutes bench. I suppose the big absentee as far as Tottenham Hotspur are concerned this evening, as both managers go through their instructions. 13.5 minutes gone. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0 in this Europa League final on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Shaw falling on this left-hand side towards Dorgu, who gets the better of Porro. Inside the box he goes down right on the edge of the penalty area. The referee says no. Cleared away by Tottenham as far as Maguire. Short towards Casemiro. Maguire on the halfway on the left-hand side here for Manchester United. We'll switch it out towards the right and in towards the path of Mazraoui. Steps infield towards the centre circle and back towards the path of Leder Yoro. Yoro towards Maguire. Maguire to Shaw. Shaw, left-hand side on the halfway here for Manchester United, being chased by Brennan Johnson. Shaw, who had to evade the challenge of Pape Sarr, manages to find Fernandes. Yoro towards Mazraoui, who drives down the centre here for United. So it's out towards Dorgu, chests it down into the box on this left-hand side. Got Porro up against him, crosses it in, left-footed, comes off the Tottenham right back for Manchester United throw on the left, which is adjacent towards the penalty spot. Dorgu takes it back towards the path of Luke Shaw in the middle of the Tottenham half. Maguire, crossfield ball towards Dorgu, inside the box, hooks it back towards the near post. And Christian Romero is taking no chances with Rasmus Højlund bearing in on goal. Will knock the ball out for a Manchester United corner on the left as we pass the quarter of an hour mark here at the San Mamés in Bilbao. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. And now it's Manchester United's turn to try and eke the breakthrough in this Europa League curtain closer. It's going to be Fernandes to take this corner from the left-hand side. It's going to be, as ever, a right-footed in-swinging delivery. The Manchester United captain, who has had to dig his side out of a few problems in this competition this season. 7 goals across this campaign for him. Fernandez, right-footed delivery towards the back post. It's parried away by Vicario. Maguire wins it back. Ahmad in space. Takes a shot on his right foot, which ran across the face of goal, but it goes wide on the left-hand post by a good 3-4 yards. But that's the first real effort or goal from either side. The first real bona fide chance. The corner came in. It was parried away by Vicario. Maguire played it back in towards Ahmad. The angle was tight for him, with a couple of Tottenham defenders bearing in on it. He struck it through the lace of his right foot, went wide on the left-hand post by a couple of yards. And the first real opportunity of this Europa League final has fallen to Manchester United and has fallen to Amad Diallo, who 2 years ago was playing in a Championship playoff semi-final for Sunderland. They would lose out eventually to Coventry City, who in turn would lose out to Luton Town in terms of promotion to the Premier League. And he has possession here on the right-hand side. He's driving forward into the middle of the Tottenham half with Basuma up against him, wins it back for Tottenham. This is Solanke up against Fernandez. They have a bit of a tussle towards the dead ball line. The ball goes out. Last touch being deemed to come off Bruno Fernandez for Tottenham throw on the left-hand side, 5 yards from the edge of the Manchester United half. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0 the score here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Solanke couldn't quite get there. Bundled clear by Maguire. Lofted upfield, looking to find Højlund. Mad by Romero, brought down by Basuma. Towards the path for Solanke, who drives out towards the left-hand side. He's got the overlapping one of Basuma if he wants him. Out towards Richarlison on the left. Cross goes in, right-footed. Towards the path of Patsar, who just couldn't quite bring the ball down. It's cleared away by Maguire inside his own penalty area. Out of play for Tottenham throw on the left-hand side, 30 yards out from goal. But Richarlison is making quite the impact for Tottenham so far this evening. He's been quite bright in the opening few minutes. Put that cross in for Patsar, just couldn't quite bring it down. Luke Shaw blocking his path, and then Maguire clearing the ball away inside his own penalty area. So the Tottenham throw taken short in towards the path of Richarlison again. Being kept touch tight by Mazraoui in towards the path of Udogie. Ball goes out of play. It's going to be a Manchester United throw on the right, adjacent towards the edge of the penalty area that they are defending this evening. Both sides attacking the designated sets of supporters in the end that they have been allocated in this ground in the Basque Country this evening. A lot of fans have been here since around about Monday, Tuesday, making a week of the occasion. And for the players, an opportunity to lift major European silverware. For Tottenham, 1984, the last time that they tasted European success in the UEFA Cup. And if they win this evening, they will become just the third side to have won the UEFA Cup or Europa League 3 times or more. Liverpool have won it 3 times, and Sevilla on a record-breaking 7 occasions winning this particular trophy. Richarlison in a loose pocket of space, up against Casemiro, back towards the path of Poe. Wasn't the best pass into him, recovered by Mason Mount for a sliding challenge, back in towards the path of Andre Onana between the sticks. So cycles it out towards the right-hand side. This is Mazraoui in possession. Towards the halfway, Ahmed spins his way past Udogie and now drives down this right-hand side for Manchester United. Back towards Fernandez, does well to keep it in play. Wasn't the best pass into him. Towards the half and towards Maguire. Maguire to Shaw. Shaw on the halfway out to the left and towards Patrick Dorgu. 5 yards inside Tottenham Hotspur territory with Pedro Porro bearing down on, which is why he plays it back to Luke Shaw. In turn finds Maguire. Shaw again a couple of keepy uppies to put the ball past Brennan Johnson. Mount with 2 up against him, being doubled up, finds Patrick Dorgu. Back to Lenny Yoro now for Manchester United. Out towards Mazraoui on the halfway, breaking in towards Tottenham territory on this right hand side. Richarlison up against him. This is Ahmad for Manchester United. Back towards Lenny Yoro on the halfway. Yoro back in towards the path for Harry Maguire inside the centre circle for Manchester United. This is Dorgu on the left. Short towards Mason Mount, who was looking to turn past his man, Rodrigo Bentancur, but Bentancur holds his ground. The ball will go out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Dorgu to take it on the left-hand side in the middle of the Tottenham Hotspur half. Back to the halfway and Shaw. Maguire will play it along the line in towards the path of Lenny Yoro. who's got the option of Ahmed out on the right. It's exactly who he fires, being put under pressure by Destiny Udogie. Yoro towards Casemiro, who turns on the half. Heavy first touch, manages to play out to the left and towards Dorgu. Brings it down left-footed, edge of the box on the left-hand side. Up against Poro. Cross goes in towards the back post. Glanced on by Mazraoui, but headed away by Destiny Udogie. Falls for Ahmed second time. Into the box is Fernandez, who looks to hook it across the face of goal. Horley was looking to make the run, blocked up by Romero, and comfortably goes into the arms of Vicario at the near post in the Tottenham Hotspur goal. Romero with a typical defender's shove to stop Rasmus Højlund from nipping in there. Midway through the first half in this Europa League final. Goalless between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. 21.5 minutes played, but it's been far from a damn squib so far. It's been an entertaining watch just to wait in the break. That's pretty much the only thing we haven't seen so far this evening. Bruno Fernandes on the halfway for Manchester United, loses out towards Richarlison, but Luke Shaw bailed him out of trouble. Here's Mount just beyond the halfway, driving his way past Bentancur, now twisting and turning with the Tottenham number 30 giving him some problems. Brennan Johnson then clips him from behind, brings Mount down, free kick to Manchester United on the left-hand side, 40 yards out for the Tottenham goal, and Felix Weah wants a couple of words with the Tottenham Hotspur number 22, who has been quite the signing for Tottenham, and Ange Postecoglou since joining a couple of seasons ago from Nottingham Forest, who was the breakout star of their first season back in the Premier League and has been one of the real mainstays in Ange Postecoglou's side over the last couple of years. It's going to be one of 11 players to defend this free kick. Shaw to take, left-footed from the left-hand side, 35 yards out. It's a poor free kick in truth, and Christian Romero will clear the ball out of play, being put under pressure by Ahmad. Manchester United throw, right-hand side, best part of 25 yards out for goal. 22.5 gone, 0-0. Here's Ahmad, driving at Udogie, gets on the inside of him, but Basuma bails his teammate out and wins it back for Tottenham. Here is Richarlison against Fernandes. Richarlison couldn't quite get his way past the United number 8. Here's Casemiro towards Fernandes again, being received the ball from Mazraoui. Casemiro out towards Ahmed on the right-hand side in the middle of the Tottenham half. Back to the halfway towards Lenny Yoro. Here's Fernandes, looking to make something happen here for Manchester United. Goes out in towards the path of Mazraoui. Fernandes being put under pressure by Basuma, cleared away by Udogie. Here's Ahmad with both Sarr and Udogie up against him. It's the Spurs number 13 that wins it back, with Richarlison in towards the path of Solanke. And there's space here for Spurs to move forward, but Solanke's brought down in the middle of the park under the challenge of Casemiro. It's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur just beyond the halfway, and the Tottenham players aren't happy because they feel like they are just beginning to build to a little bit of a counter-attack on the halfway before Casemiro hauled Dominic Solanke down to the surface. They're appealing for a card, which doesn't look like it's been given by the referee Felix Weah. German official being flanked up by Robert Kempter, Christian Diaz, assistant referees Maurizio Mariani of Italy is the fourth official, Bastian Dankert of Germany is the VAR official this evening. Here's Poro on the right-hand side, on the halfway up against Mount. Poor pass in towards the path of Sarr, so United will win themselves a cheap throw-in on this left-hand side, 10 yards on the edge of Tottenham Hotspur territory. Shaw goes back towards Onana, who will launch it forward on his left foot towards the halfway. Højlund look to chase it back. Basuma wins it. Up in the air it goes. Brought down by Basuma. Touch from Mount, but Basuma moves. Gets a better with 2. Making an overlapping run is Pedro Porro, but Basuma goes down to the ground on the challenge of Dorgu. Came in from behind. Found the eyes of the referee. Cleared away by Shaw. Dorgu gets it further clear, but can only concede a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur on the right-hand side. Best part of 30 yards out from the Manchester United goal. Porro to take this throw in for Tottenham, adjacent towards the edge of the penalty area. He's moved it forward a good 5 yards here as the Tottenham right back, short in towards the path of Basuma. Porro up against both Mount and Dorgu, gets the better of them both towards the dead ball line. Dorgu manages to win it back, cleared away, comes off the right arm of Brennan Johnson, and so it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United by the near side corner flag towards the goal at their defending in this first half. Now, this is the first of 3 European finals that we're going to be broadcasting to you live across the Flash Score Live audio commentary service over the next 10 days. This time next week we'll be in Wrocław in Poland for Real Betis against Chelsea. That's the final of the Conference League. 8 o'clock kick-off next Wednesday night. And then the big one is a week Saturday, the Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain up against Inter Milan at the Allianz Arena in Munich. We'll have comprehensive build-up and reaction. By downloading the Flash Score app, you'll get interviews with some of the biggest names in the game, previewing, looking back at that particular match. You'll be able to read match preview and statistical insights. Of course, our goal notification service, and as well, as you'd expect, live commentary of the final from the Allianz Arena in Munich as Paris Saint-Germain face off against Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League. But here in the Europa League final, 26 minutes gone, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0. No real clear-cut chance apart from the one from Ahmad a couple of moments ago. But here come Tottenham here. Solanke towards the edge of the box, but Maguire did well to keep touch tight and then clear the ball away. Runs loose towards Bentancur, down the centre, driving around about 30 yards out from goal. Out towards the left-hand side and towards Udogie. This is Richarlison. Udogie is looking to make the overlapping run, but Richarlison to put the ball in. Comes off from Mazraoui. Tottenham throw, left-hand side, adjacent towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area, which is going to be taken by Udogie. Back in towards the path of Van der Ven. On the halfway is Christian Romero for Spurs, who chips the ball out towards the left-hand side. Richarlison edge of the box, glances the ball on. Maguire wanted the flag to go up for offside. Richarlison regains it again. Bentancur towards the path of Udogie. In space. Cross goes in, left-footed towards the back post. And Onana wanted it to be left, but Dorgu chests the ball out of play for a Tottenham Hotspur corner. I don't know whether he got the shout there, Dorgu, but he could have just left that to go out of play. There was nobody behind him. And, well, you can see Luke Shaw giving him the shout to ensure that he doesn't get a touch and to get out of the way, but was unable to do so. And so Tottenham with another corner, this time on the right-hand side. It's going to be Pedro Porro to deliver again. And it was from these corners where Manchester United have had troubles against Tottenham in their domestic matches this season, particularly the game at Old Trafford in the league back in September. Conceded from a corner which was taken by Porro towards Solanke. It's another corner here for Spurs. On the right-hand side is going to be the right foot of Pedro Porro to deliver it for Tottenham. He has got the option of Sarr short if he wants it, but he's going to swing this in towards the penalty area, towards the penalty spot. Then he fell for Solanke. Richarlison looked to flick it over the top, comes back in towards the box, and it was Bissouma who was looking to make inroads there. Back towards the halfway it goes. Tottenham have it, and it will be bundled back in towards the path of Vicario. Launches it forward towards beyond the halfway. Chested down by Solanke. Heavy touch. Cleared away by Casemiro towards the half. Brought down by Udogie, who loses out towards Ahmad, who goes down to the ground and is deemed to have been fouled by Destiny Udogie on this far side. Manchester United free kick on the right as they attack 5 yards inside the Tottenham Hotspur half, as Udogie basically pulled him back, stopping him from advancing further forwards. You get the sense right now this is a who blinks first final. In terms of fouls suffered, 6 in the favour of Manchester United, 3 for Spurs. Fernandes the free kick, short along this right-hand side towards Ahmad. Edge of the area up against Udogie. Ahmad inside the area, sets on the inside, hooks it across, looking to find Yoro. It was Brennan Johnson, I think, who got the touch initially to stop the ball from running in towards Yoro's tracks. It was then eventually cleared away by Tottenham Hotspur. Ahmad bringing the ball inside. Yoro was looking at it at the near post, but cleared away by Brennan Johnson, and then out of play for Manchester United throw on the right-hand side. Adjacent towards the edge of the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area. And Ahmad trying to get some noise from the United fans, whose goal they're attacking in this first half. There is a slight concern here for Christian Romero, who finds himself down on the ground inside his own 6-yard box. It does give both sets of players the opportunity just to take a bit of a breather. Some of the players taking on energy gels, some just taking on normal hydration. Also the first chart tonight where both managers can affect proceedings in play. The first chance that Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim would have had to have had a real conversation with his players. As we pass the half-hour mark here in Bilbao, Romero is still down on the ground here. And we're still waiting for him to get back on up on his feet, which he eventually does. We pass the half-hour mark here. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0 in the Europa League final here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. United throw back in towards the path of Yoro, who'll play it back towards Maguire on the halfway. Luke Shaw inside the centre circle. Harry Maguire, who spent times in this Europa League as a striker, particularly in that game against Lyon. Here's Ahmed at the other end, right hand side edge of the box up against Richarlison. Back towards Fernandes, cross went in first time off of Pape Sarr. Manchester United throw on the right hand side, adjacent towards the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. Pape Sarr, who's crossed by Bruno Fernandes, came off the back off. And it's going to be Mazraoui to take. And he's got the option of Ahmad short, or he's got Højlund and Mountain around the penalty spot if he wanted to go long, but it's gone short to Ahmad, who drives past Richarlison, edge of the area. Cross goes in right-footed, but it's flashed across goal. It never had any kind of accuracy of heading towards it. It sails wide of the goalie he's attacking, much to the frustration of his manager Ruben Amorim, and much to the gasp of the Manchester United fans that are behind that goal in the opening period. And you get the sense this is a nervous night. Two teams whose domestic seasons can fairly be described as disastrous, looking for continental glory to be the salvation to a season which they'd otherwise want to forget. For Manchester United, the lowest league position since the 1970s. For Tottenham Hotspur, their worst Premier League season in history. Here's Richarlison for Spurs, getting on the inside of Mazraoui, cleared away only as far as Udogie on this left side, who's got Bruno Fernandes for company. Ball goes out of play, last touch comes off the United skipper. Tottenham throw left hand side, middle of the United half. Back in towards the path of Bissouma, who manages to get past Mazraoui, who then brings him down. Tottenham wanted a free kick, not given. United trying to get the ball away. Yoro towards the edge of his own penalty area, back into the path of Maguire. Bissouma still down on the deck on the far side. Spurs effectively a man down right now. Maguire slips the ball out towards Dorgu, who tried to bring it down on his left foot. It was a high ball from Maguire as he slipped towards the surface. Dorgu tried his best to bring it down, but couldn't quite do so on his left foot. And Bissouma still down on the deck here for Tottenham, following the challenge by Mazraoui, whose knee collided with the thigh of Bissouma. And Ange Postecoglou, the Tottenham manager, not happy whatsoever that a free kick wasn't awarded to his side there. And Bissouma still down on the deck. And I've got to say, it's not looking too comfortable as Ange Postecoglou has a conversation with Maurizio Mariani, the Italian fourth official this evening. Well, if Manchester United do want some kind of good vibes about this final, they won the UEFA Champions League in Moscow on this day in 2008, so if they fancy omens, it could be this. It was May the 21st, 2008. It was in an all-English final when they got the better of Chelsea on penalties on that infamously rainy night in Red Square. John Terry slipping with that decisive penalty kick to give Manchester United their second Champions League and third European Cup title. For Tottenham, it'll be a first European success since 1984, a first trophy since the League Cup in 2008 under the stewardship of Juan de Ramos. If they were to be successful tonight and they move their way forwards here, this is Udogie on the left-hand side. He had a shove in the back by Ahmad, who was tugging his shirt, but managed to bring the ball out to the left and then eventually goes down to the ground towards the edge of the area. Bruno Fernandes, who brought him to the deck. It's going to be a free kick to Tottenham on the left side, right towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Richarlison and Mickey van der Ven having quite sharp conversations with the referee, who's now looking to be the pacifier towards the situation. Now, in European competition, only the captains are designated to speak to the referee unless the referee wants to speak to a certain player. Ahmad's going to get the first yellow card of this final. And the referee basically saying in no uncertain terms, I don't know why you're arguing the decision, because you pulled him back. And so Ahmad, the first player to be booked tonight in this Europa League final for Manchester United. And I'll get it out the way with now. No player has ever been sent off in a Europa League final on the 16th occasion of this final being played. The previous 15 have actually yielded 43 goals, an average of just under 3 a game. So it's always been an entertaining fixture, and it's been a decent first half without that elusive breakthrough just yet. 10 minutes to go of it. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. And it's going to be a Tottenham free kick here on the left-hand side, right by the edge of the United penalty area. It's going to be Pedro Porro to take. He's going to swing it on his right foot, not after the referee has a conversation about some pushing and shoving in the penalty area, and Mickey van der Ven is due another appointment with the match official. And so another opportunity here from a set piece for Tottenham. Porro to take it on this left-hand side. United keep a high line towards the penalty spot. Porro's free kick fails to get past the first man, Højlund. It was nearly found second time by Ibasuma. Cleared away by Manchester United as far as Vicario for Spurs. Short in towards the path of Papsar. Now Ahmad is hobbling a little bit gingerly. This is Johnson on the right-hand side for Tottenham. Not really been able to get into the game in this first half. Up against Dorgu towards the edge of the box. Cross goes in, takes a deflector to the near post. Solanke, Tristan turns towards the byline, but handled the ball with his first touch on his right hand as he was being kept touch tight by Harry Maguire. And so it'll be a free kick to Manchester United as Harry Maguire vents some of his frustrations towards the linesman on the near side. You're listening to the Europa League final here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. 36.5 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0. Spurs 1. The 3 domestic meetings between the two sides this season. The Premier League meetings 3-0 and 1-0. And a Carabao Cup quarter-final, which they would go on to win by 4-3 in December. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Richarlison was looking to feed forward Solanke. Yoro under pressure inside his own box. 2 up against him. 1 back by Pape Sarr, but just too heavy a touch, and it'll rebound straight into the path of Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. But Liana Yoro being given what they call a murder ball. Twisting and turning inside his penalty area. Solanke up against him. Papsar also made chase, but all's well but ends well as the ball goes back into the arms of Andre Onana between the sticks. Looking to win his first European title, Onana, having lost out in 2 European finals, Inter Milan, the 2020 Europa League final to Sevilla, and the 2023 Champions League final to Manchester City. His last game for Inter before joining Manchester United a couple of summers ago. Bruno Fernandes goes down on the halfway here for Manchester United, clutching his head and then having a couple of words with the referee, whose patience is beginning to wear thin a little bit here, because he's had it in the neck from both sets of sides. Fernandes going down to the ground after him and Pape Sarr were both looking to head the same ball, and Sarr making contact with the back of the head of Bruno Fernandes. Nothing malicious about it, but Manchester United do get a free kick inside the centre circle, played out to the left and towards Dorgu, brought down towards the edge of the box. Good first touch on his left foot, play back in towards the path of Luke Shaw. Shaw back towards Casemiro. United have completed 127 passes so far in comparison to the 68 at Tottenham. Here's Yoro in towards the path of Ahmad, making the overlapping one is Mazraoui on this right hand side, finds it towards the edge of the box. Cross goes in first time. Udogie manages to block that off, and Richarlison looking to get it away for Spurs. Udogie makes an overlapping run. Richarlison towards the halfway, manages to find Udogie on this left side, just inside United territory, gets the better of Fernandes, sliding in is Mazraoui, fair in the eyes of the referee. United now look to break forward, a bit of space on this right side. Fernandes towards Højlund, turning back to goal. Van der Ven up against him. Casemiro is looking to lay it out towards Mason Mount, but play will go back for a Manchester United free kick following a foul on Rasmus Højlund by Mickey van der Ven a couple of moments ago. Højlund looking to turn, was then kicked from behind by van der Ven. The attack not amounting to anything, and so United weren't given a full advantage, so get the free kick. Here's Ahmad towards the edge of the box, drifting inside, takes a shot, takes a deflection off of Richarlison, which just took the sting out of it on the left foot of Ahmad, and then straight in towards the arms of Vicario in the Tottenham Hotspur goal as the United number 16 finds himself down on the deck. Udogie kicks the ball out of play, and so Ahmad will be able to receive some treatment. Well, 0-0 as we approach the final 5 minutes of the first half here at the San Mamés Stadium. This is actually the first cup final featuring both Manchester United and Tottenham since the 2009 League Cup final. United winning 4-1 on penalties following a goalless draw Luka Modric and Gareth Bale were both involved for Spurs, whilst the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Rio Ferdinand and Nani played for United, and a 21-year-old Johnny Evans was involved in that particular matchday squad as well for Manchester United. And if it is a penalty shootout this evening, do not be surprised, because 3 of the last 4 Europa League finals have been decided by a penalty shootout, including United's defeat to Villarreal in 2021. The outlier being last season and Atalanta's 3-0 win against Bayer Leverkusen in Dublin. Adamano Lukman scored a hat-trick in that particular one. The only player to do so in a Europa League final. That from 2010 as Fernandes looks to scoot the ball forward towards Ahmed, who's back up on his feet. Play obviously resuming. Here's Mazraoui towards Fernandes. Intercepted by Sarr on the halfway. Casemiro just drops back. And so Sarr in possession, looking for space to run into. He's got Richarlison out on the left if he wants him. Richarlison found with Mazraoui up against him. Steps inside and finds Bentancur in space inside the area. Up against Bruno Fernandes. Play back in towards the path. Back in towards the path of Lenny Yoro. Yoro towards Casemiro. Casemiro will chip it out towards the path of Ahmad. Edge of the air on this right-hand side. Up against Udogie towards the edge of the box. Play back towards the possession of Yoro. Yoro towards Casemiro. Ball breaks towards Fernandes inside the air. Strikes it right for the first time. Cleared by Van der Ven. Udogie's trying to get it away. Eventually does so towards Richarlison, who's been put under pressure by Mazraoui, who wins it back for United. Play back towards Fernandes. Cross goes in towards the near post. Cleared away before finding Højlund. And it's won back by Maguire on the halfway. United with 56% possession compared to the 44% to Tottenham. But it is Spurs who lead 1-0, courtesy of Brennan Johnson's goal in the 42nd minute. Here's Mazraoui back into the path of Yoro on the halfway. Casemiro now for Manchester United. Maguire towards Shaw. Shaw, who's got Patrick Dorgu on the halfway. Luke Shaw will play it back in towards the path of Andre Onana. And to the best of our knowledge, Brennan Johnson is going to get the goal for Tottenham Hotspur, despite the slight ricochet it had as we head to stoppage time at the end of the first half. Tottenham leading Manchester United by 1-0 in the Europa League final. 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Ball goes out of play. Tottenham Hotspur with the throw on the right-hand side. As we have a look at the goal again from our monitor. Beautiful ball in from Papsar in towards the path of Johnson. He does get a touch, but it looks like the final one comes off of Luke Shaw. Rebounds off the Manchester United left back. Actually, almost comes off the shoulder. Onana squirming to get it away, unable to do so. But here come United at the other end. Mason Mount unable to get past Pedro Porro. They'll win a throw on this left-hand side, around about 30 yards out from the Tottenham Hotspur goal. In fact, they're going to get themselves a free kick following a foul on Mount by Pedro Porro a couple of moments earlier. Free kick to be taken by Bruno Fernandes on this left-hand side. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinging delivery from him. Visited in towards the back post. Glance away for finding Maguire. It's going to fall towards Ahmad 30 yards out in the centre. Here's Luke Shaw. We're going to play another one in. Teasing ball in towards the box, but flicked away by